Welcome to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with BN and our community. Good afternoon, everyone, or morning, wherever you are located. Welcome to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with BN and our community. As always, I am Mandisa Thomas, and I am your host for the show. In the Cut is a production of BlackNonbelievers, which is a 501c3 organization. Headquartered in the Atlanta area, we connect with other Blacks and allies who are living free of religion and might otherwise be shunned by family and friends by providing a caring, friendly, and informative community. Instead of accepting dogma, we determine truth and morality through reason and evidence. That is always going to be important to us. The mission of Black Nonbelievers is to provide secular fellowship, nurture and support non-believers in coming out, encourage pride in non-religious identities, educate the public on the history and current state of non-belief in Black communities, organize events and charitable causes. Black Nonbelievers welcomes all regardless of age, gender identity, sexual identity, national origin, or racial identity. However, our work and our content prioritizes Black non-religious voices. And I am excited to be kicking off, Women's History Month with our special guest, who will be introduced very shortly. But I just wanted to give a bit of background on Women's History Month, as this is the month of March. And just wanted to read a little history on it. And it had its histories as a national celebration in 1981 when Congress passed publication L97-28, which authorized and requested the president to proclaim the week beginning March 7th, 1982 as Women's History Week. Throughout the next 5 years, Congress continued to pass joint resolutions designating a week in March as Women's History Week. In 1987, after being petitioned by the National Women's History Project, Congress passed publication L100-09, which designated the month of March 1987 as Women's History Month. Between 1988 and 1994, Congress passed additional resolutions requesting and authorizing the president to proclaim the March of each year as Women's History Month. Since 1995, presidents have issued a series of annual proclamations designating the month of March as Women's History Month. And these proclamations celebrate the contributions that women have made to the United States and recognize specific achievements that women have made over the course of American history in a variety of fields. And this is from womenshistorymonth.gov, which is a federal website. And also, as we continue to acknowledge and celebrate Women's History Month, I would like to give a shout out to my fellow organizers and leaders at Black Nonbelievers, Tina Marshall, Kelly King, Cynthia McDonald, Lisa Dyer, and others who are coming on board with us. And as secular women and as Black secular women, we must always continue to think about and overturn the stigmas that women still face, especially those who are more liberated in multiple ways. And I know a lot of people like to poo-poo feminism and and women who are strong and unapologetic, but we celebrate that over here. We celebrate the strength of Black women, in particular, and Black secular women, because we sit at so many intersections, and it's important to note that even though, yes, we have to be strong at times, we shouldn't always be, or we shouldn't always have to rely on our own strength. It's important that we continue to support each other in these challenges that we face. And International Women's Day is on March 8th. If you have a celebration or something coming up, please be sure to make sure that you bask in that, especially if you are a woman who is out there getting things done, and has accomplished things. And we definitely celebrate you over here at Black Nonbelievers. But not just to celebrate women. Today is actually my youngest son's birthday. My son Miles is 14 today, so let's please join me in wishing him a very happy birthday. We just got him a cat who he named Cosmo, and she is a female cat. Right now, she's kind of hiding in my office here, but we're giving her that time to adjust and get acclimated to her new home. So we welcome Miss Cosmo to our family. And please do once again, help me celebrate my son's birthday. We have happy birthday to him. He's growing into a very fine young man, and we certainly wish him the best and wish him a very happy birthday. We're definitely going to be celebrating today after the show. So we're going to get the show started just a bit early, because we have some. We have a bit of a jam-packed show today, and full of information. I am pleased to introduce our special guest, Miss Gwendolyn Rose Forrest. Gwendolyn is a native of Detroit, Michigan, who identifies as a global African American citizen. She possesses a BA in sociology/psychology from Wayne State University and a master's in public administration from Central Michigan University. Professionally, she has worked in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors in 7 major U.S. metropolitan areas, including Atlanta, Portland, Chicago, Denver, San Diego, and Fort Worth. In the Detroit metropolitan area, she was a social worker, civil rights advocate, and the research director for the Wayne County Charter Commission, where she helped to write Michigan's first home rule charter. Also in the Detroit area, as a certified fundraising executive, she helped Wayne, Eastern, and Oakland universities meet financial goals. An accomplished poet, Gwendolyn is the author of 3 books written from a cosmic perspective and humanist worldview: Dreams, Deeds, and Destiny, Everyday Ethics and Equity, and The Born Good Enough Mindset. She is a member of the American Humanist Association, Humanist International, Black Nonbelievers, the NAACP, the Urban League, and Planned Parenthood. As a retired senior citizen, Gwendolyn enjoys writing, yoga, and line dancing. Welcome to the show, Miss Gwen.
Well, hello. Glad to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. It is an honor to actually be speaking with you for the first time, like face to face, because we communicated via email,
Right.
via messenger. So so it's a pleasure to finally see you, and you look so beautiful this afternoon. So thank you so much for joining us. And as we like to ask, as we start with all of our guests, please tell our viewers about your journey with religion and how you came to your humanist perspective.
Okay. Um, I was born into a progressive Baptist family that went to church every Sunday, but my father and mother were liberal. As a matter of fact, my father taught me and my sisters how to play cards, how to dance, and every Sunday we would play bid whist and dance at home or either over somebody else's house. So we weren't the traditional um, line Baptists. And as a child, I thought there was only one religion, Christianity, but I knew there were different denominations: Methodist, Baptist, Pentecostal, and Catholic, because I had friends that were these denominations. I didn't know about the Muslims, however, until I became a teenager and got involved with a United Negro Action Committee and learned about the Muslims and Elijah Muhammad. I never wanted to be a Muslim, however, because of the status of women in that particular religion. And when I went to college, though, I learned about other major religions: Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and so forth. And that's when I began to question my faith. And I tried to talk about this questioning with my family, but I was just told, believe and everything will be all right. Just believe, have faith, and so forth. And once I did talk to or try to talk to a neighbor about it, and she told me, well, even if you feel a little skeptical now, you'll come back to it. You'll become faithful again. But I never did, because I just had questions that nobody seemed to want to listen to. And yet I got married in the church with the full rituals, and I had my son baptized in the church, even though I was, um, like I said, questioning at the time. And after I was married, I changed to a non denominational church. It was Unity Village. You might have heard of them. They're out of Missouri. And my son, daughter, and I went to Unity, but my husband remained with his childhood church. Uh, while I was at Unity, though, and like I said, I was still questioning, I began to follow the Maharishi Yogi. And that's where I first learned to meditate. And it wasn't until after my divorce and moved to Atlanta, um, and then moved back to Detroit, that I knew that I wasn't going to be attending church on a regular basis at all. Um, and it wasn't until I moved, though, to Portland, Oregon in 1988 and had no longer felt the family pressure did I stop feeling guilty about going to church and stop going to church altogether. And later, when I moved to Chicago, I had a cousin there who invited me to church, and I went once with her. And then I knew I would never go again because I couldn't sit there listening to what they were saying, except maybe I knew I'd go for a relative's funeral or something. And at this point, I thought of myself not as a Christian, but as being spiritual. And I followed people like Wayne Dyer. You might have heard of him. He's written prolifically. When I moved back to Detroit in the 90s, I never went back to church. I just avoided talking about what I believed. And although I knew I was an atheist, this is the stance I maintained when I moved to Denver, San Diego, and Fort Worth in the early 2000s rather. And it wasn't until I again returned to Detroit in 2012, when my mother was ill, that I came out of the closet. And I visited all the atheist groups around Metro Detroit. And once I met the Humanist, though, I knew I had found my tribe. So to me, being an atheist is anti-God, but being a humanist is not only disbelief in a deity, but it's also belief in something, which is humanity, reason, critical thinking, and compassion. And that's my journey.
Awesome. Very much for sharing that, Miss Gwen. Um, and because I like to refer to our older members as members of a certain age. We don't like to do ageism or anything like that. But the next question is, like, as a longtime activist, was it challenging, or was it challenging for you to just like hide your atheism and humanism to your colleagues at the time? Because I imagine that it must have been difficult to to keep that a secret. Or did you find the conversations in your work challenging, or did you just simply avoid them altogether?
I really just avoided religious comments or altogether. And when I moved from place to place, naturally you meet people. And I was always, every place I went, was invited to church. And I would just say, no, thank you. I don't go to church. I didn't really say I don't go to church, I don't think. I just got out of it some kind of way. But I never talked with them about my stance. My
Okay.
family knew in the latest when I was with my daughter and her family. And of course, they were cool with it. Um, but in terms of my colleagues, I really didn't talk religion with them. I just
Okay.
kind of hid, in other words.
Yes. Yes, I imagine. How did, because when you're, from it's assumed, and for good reason, that especially like many older black folks are religious because many of them still are. Um, how how was the atmosphere from then to now? I imagine that it might be a little easier now to say, to express your non-belief, but do you still encounter some challenges with your peers or people within your age group?
No, and there's not that many of us in my age group. Well, especially black. Um, but once I started going around these other atheist groups in Detroit, I met a lot of different people. And now, even I have a group, we don't have a name or anything. Uh, but I was um, at one time the head of a feminist group, and then we joined the board of the Humanists. So I was on the board of the Humanists of Southeast Michigan, but that ended up breaking up in right at the end of 2019, the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
So the only real contact I have, there's five of us, five women that we get together socially, we a lot of different ways, whatever, that keep in touch, and all of them are um, younger than I am. But and then I have some other people from when I was on the board with the humanists that I keep in touch with. But
Yes.
I was so glad when Black Non-Believers came back because I never could get really involved with that group when it before it collapsed or whatever. Um, so that's it. But in terms of talking about it now, uh, I talk about it to anybody and
Nice.
anywhere. But I think it took me a group behind me or something, or to know that there were a lot of other people out here that have been out longer than I had. But I just didn't know anybody. But once I found my tribe, as I said, I've just, I'll speak anytime.
Awesome. And thank you so much for being a member and participating and coming back to the new Metro Detroit group. We really do appreciate you. It means a lot. And so, for the next question is, how can we? Because we asked this question of Dr. Tony Penn last time or last show, but I really would like to ask you this question as well. How do you think we can better apply humanism in our communities and our everyday lives, and still maintain a connection to Black communities?
Okay, I thought about this, and the answers I really don't know. But I do not believe in proselytizing um, because this turns people off. But I do believe in being honest about non belief and humanist philosophies, as I said before. So I do speak up to family, friends. And in my family, um, Well, my daughter and her children are not religious, but my sisters and cousins, they're religious. Uh, and my sisters are very liberal. So I mean, I have no problem with them. I just don't try to change them, and they don't try to convert me. So we get along fine. Um, but in terms of the Black community, the only way I know how to apply humanism is to work with non-religious and or religious organizations on mutually shared goals. For example, like I said, when I led the Women for Critical Thinking and was on the board of the Humanists of Southeastern Michigan, we worked with a group called Alternative for Girls, and that's a non-religious group. And they help young girls and women in all areas they even have a, a way of helping women that have been trafficked and so forth. So we work with them. And there was another Ruth Ellis Center, which was non religious, and their focus was the LGBT community, young people. So I said I thought about this, and it seems to me logically that you're going to have to work with young people because many old people they aren't going to change, and the closer you are to death, if you're religious, you know darn well they are going to change. So and also vulnerable populations like the homeless or disadvantaged, the returning citizens or prisoners. I mean, you don't have to work with them directly sometimes, but like when we were with Alternative for Girls, we didn't actually, talk to the girls or work with them, but we did raise some funds on their behalf at a book uh, gathering and books for them and so forth, things of that nature to help the organization out. But other than that, I don't know, especially with some of these, our Black peers, I don't know. I can't hear you.
Sorry, yes, I had to unmute. Yeah, that was actually a lot.
Huh?
It sounds to me like just doing it, right? Like whether you are involved in directly, direct action, if you are volunteering directly, or you are donating and supporting and raising funds for these organizations, and that does make a huge difference. So that says a lot. So thank you so much for that. Um, and so after, you are actually you're the author of 3 books and you're a poet. And so you will be now doing a reading for us. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, my reading today is taken primarily from my third book, and that's The Born Good Enough Mindset. And although the overall theme of this book is positive and helps us to realize that we were born good enough, the book does not shy away from the negative realities of life, particularly those Black Americans face on a daily basis. For example, iguanas existing in the Galapagos struggle to get close to the top of volcanoes, where they lay their eggs to keep the species alive. While in the USA, Blacks struggle to survive. Slavery, Jim Crow, peonage, and bigotry have kept most Blacks in a state of dependency. Because social economic disparities still thrive, most Blacks in the USA still struggle to survive. Black boys who are not killed but live to be Black men are not free from the struggle they must confront when mass incarceration and gun violence thrive, forcing most Black males to struggle to stay alive. While most Black males are struggling just to stay alive, Black females struggle too in order to survive. Sexual, physical and mental violence. Against these, Black females possess a poor defense. Bigotry in public and private policy impacts Black citizens disproportionately, making those who are poor, uneducated, and Black more than likely to drugs, crime, and prison be on track. Yet about the bigotry facing Blacks firsthand, some non-Blacks seem shocked or hide their heads in sand. Blacks could be any group in countries anywhere. Bigotry exists and is tolerated there. For people worldwide struggling to change nations, the struggle goes on in many iterations. So let's beat bigotry by using vigilance to expose and oppose it in every instance. Other situations we must face worldwide as Black people, particularly women, are that of misogyny and war. So, women of the world, arise. Do not believe the lies that Russia's war games are what they are alleged to be. They are not sport, but support a toxic male mentality. While behind the guise of sport these war games hide, they are not sport or games, but preparation for genocide. So, women of the world, arise. Exercise your agency in the family. Do not let your babies become murderers for hire, rapists, warmongers, and fodder for war's fires. Resist rearing babies with a toxic male mentality. Instead, rear your babies to be persons promoting peace, and ultimately war will cease. In this way, if the earth has not been blown away, war games will be put permanently out of commission and replaced by authentic athletic competition. In the meantime, however, we must understand that no man is an island, nor is any woman or child. So do not let "I did it all by myself" thoughts beguile. In society, everybody is dependent upon one another. None are independent of each other. Consequently, it is best for all humanity to view society in this way, for interdependency definitely holds sway. Until this happens, however, what are your priorities? Do you long to live like celebrities who live luxuriously as they please? And do you try to fill your void with things such as pricey cars and diamond rings? Priced moderately, costly, or cheaply, material things can't make you happy. Whether too few, too many, or enough, all your material things are just stuff. When your life runs amok and all's amiss, becoming one crisis after crisis, you cannot count on material things to see you through life's twists, turns, dips, and dings. So discern what counts in the scheme of things, and appreciate the important things, such as being able to lift your head, cleanse, clothe, feed yourself. Is that enough said? So adopt an endowing attitude. Fill your void with good deeds and gratitude. Perversely, it is insignificant things we blindly covet in the scheme of things. It is also a fact that too many of us look outside of ourselves for fulfillment. But whether you are rich, poor, or in between, stop seeking a savior, king or queen, priest or pastor, shaman, imam, or guru to make your life better for you. Neither in life nor death, with its absence of breath, can any of them make your life better for you. This only you can do. So get up off your knees and stop your futile pleas. Take your destiny in hand and design a plan of what you want to see as your destiny. Then do the deeds necessary to make the destiny You design your reality. Now, this is not to say making your desired destiny will be easy, because from the mouth of erupting volcano spews scalding hot lava that flows, obliterating old landscapes and creating new landscapes that last temporarily. And we are cast into this world of change and uncertainty. Here, all things may rearrange momentarily, so we do not know precisely what will occur or will not be. Nevertheless, we are born good enough with innate creative stuff, which includes a sense of hope that helps us to cope in a world of change and uncertainty. For it also is a world of possibility. Yet in this world of possibility, you will experience failure at some point. So think of failure as a detour to success and fulfill dreams. But after a failure, do you remain authentic? And authentic means following the personal path. The personal path down through the ages has been a path that awes and amazes. Without fail, it consistency does lead past known paths when the stout of heart take heed. It's not a path for the coward or weak, nor is it one the conformist would seek. Once on this path, one cannot go backward. The only option is to go forward, meandering through secret spaces where personal discoveries are made there. The personal path may be hard to find, but it is knowable to the heart and mind. The personal path fans out far and wide, but its departure point begins inside of each of us individually, and each must search for it personally. The personal path, when all is said and done, is a path sought and trod by only one. So, to fulfill your unique destiny, a personal pathfinder you must be. Nevertheless, too many of us are told to conform, and if we do not conform, we are told that we are less than, and too many of us believe it. Yet, not one group should be made to feel less than, for all humans make up humanity. So it is imperative to take this stand on the issue of inclusivity. No one should be made to feel less than, for existence validates one's worth. All should be made to feel that we can achieve our full potential from our birth. So do not believe that you are less than, for existence validates your worth. Instead, believe that you can, for you can, achieve your full potential on this earth. Believe you can, because our thoughts also create our mindset. And the born good enough mindset is a mindset based on the proposition that regardless of culture or country, human beings are born good enough with innate creative stuff, and their existence validates their worth on earth. So we do not need someone else to say we are worthy in some way. Moreover, the born good enough mindset is a self affirming, self actualizing mindset. Consequently, when we love and value our own worth, we are more likely to love and value the worth of all human beings, other beings, and the earth. As a consequence of the born good enough mindset, is that our mission in life is to continuously develop our unique innate creativity, not to abuse it, but to use it to benefit humanity, other beings, and the earth. Granted, we had no voice in where, when, and to whom we were born, or under what conditions existed before we exited the womb. Post birth, we have little or no voice in how and when we will exit the earth. Nevertheless, while we are here on earth, we have a voice in whether or not the life we live is a life of worth. So, just because our circumstances are at the lowest bar, we need not let our circumstances dictate who we are. To succeed presently, doing things differently is the change we need. So, to those of us living in the city and those of us living off the land, there is no need to wallow in pity if this we heed and understand. We can change our circumstances by planning to start at the minimum and arrange our advances to arrive at the maximum. Also, our circumstances make advances when repeatedly these two things we do: implement plans judiciously and be sure to follow through. And following through means when we come across life's crossroads while going along our way, a decision at life's crossroads quickly comes into play because at life's crossroads we may linger but cannot stay. Stopped in our tracks, we can contemplate turning back the other way. While we may yearn, we cannot return, but we may vacillate the time away. When thrust upon the cusp of a decision holding repercussions for us, the precision we take due to what is at stake is as crucial as the decision we make. So at a crossroad, we cannot shirk a decision to turn left or right. But past the crossroad, if our decision does work, we learn that all along our decision was not wrong, but right. Importantly, as a consequence of each choice we choose, we win or lose. So, how do we choose the best choice we can choose? Within each of us resides an insight guide, and if from it we do not hide and choose a choice from outside, we position ourselves to win, for the best choice comes from within. So, regardless of when, where, and to whom you are born good enough with innate creative stuff, and your existence validates your worth on this earth. This is your birthright. Among other things, this means you can use your creativity to create the life you want to see. So, about the way you walk, talk, look, where you come from, or when surrounded by negativity, brook no feelings of inferiority, for you are a necessity to humanity, other beings, and the earth. In conclusion, have no illusion about your worth, and do not dismiss your birthright breezily. Own your birthright super seriously. Like wildflowers, we are meant to bloom any hour of the day, in every way and everywhere if we dare. So know it is in your power to bloom like a wildflower every day, wherever you may, and have fun reaching for the sun. Never forget that to yesterday we have no access, while entering tomorrow is a futile quest. Within today is the only time in which we fit. So let us make the most of it. Now, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Go on, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Relax your jaw, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your torso, thighs, legs, feet, and repeat after me. I was born good enough with innate creative stuff, and my existence validates my worth on earth. Therefore, I develop my innate creativity, not to abuse it, but to use it to make the earth better than it was before my birth. Additionally, I love and value me, for I am of worth and a necessity to humanity, other beings, and the earth. Now, open your eyes. In conclusion, be aware that at some time, someone may say that you are less than in some way. At another time, you may be lauded for making it, but you feel you are not good enough, that you are faking it. Yet, you do not need someone to say you are worthy in some way, for you are born good enough with innate creative stuff, and your existence validates your worth on earth. Additionally, with the born good enough mindset, you have no desire to get down and dirty by disparaging someone else to uplift yourself. Instead of hate, disharmony, and theories of conspiracy, peace, harmony, and self actualization will be your motivation. So, in times good or tough, when the going is smooth or rough, know you are worthy. Thank you.
Miss Gwendolyn, I cannot tell you how beautiful and appropriate that was for me to hear. Thank you so much for reading that wonderful passage from your book. It is very much appreciated personally, and we appreciate you here at Black Nonbelievers. And we look forward to seeing you more. And we definitely hope that you will come back on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for being our guest today. If you enjoyed Miss Gwendolyn and her wonderful words, please do visit her website at gwendolynforrest.com and purchase your copies of her books, including The Born Good Enough Mindset, which she just read from. Thank you once again to Miss Gwendolyn for being our guest and kicking off Women's History Month, representing the Metro Detroit area. And now we will go to our announcements. Now, speaking of Detroit, on Saturday, March 11th, join Kelly and the Metro affiliate as they join in the celebration of Stevie Wonder's music, one of my favorite artists, which will be presented by the Detroit City Jazz Orchestra. Those tickets are $20. Do click on the meetup link that will be shared in the chat for more info. And in Atlanta, join us on March 18th as we experience Space After Dark at the Illuminarium Atlanta at 6:30 Eastern. Those tickets are $35. You can click on the meetup link to not only see the information about that particular show, but also their other shows and experiences. Also, join Kelly and the Metro Detroit affiliate on Sunday, March 19th at 1:30 p.m. for brunch and chat at Mary Bell Southern Cache or Cache. That meetup link will also be shared in the chat. And our new Philadelphia affiliate is hosting their second virtual meetup on March 31st at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Whether you are in the Philadelphia area or not, you are welcome to join them. And also, you will find that information in the chat as well. That link will be shared in the chat. And also, as new events are created, we will keep you posted both on social media and our upcoming shows. So there will always be shared in the YouTube descriptions, but definitely be sure to click on the links as they come in during the show. Some on a more general scale, for Women's History Month, please do, if you aren't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do check out the playlists for the Women of Color Beyond Belief conferences. We have the playlists for 2019, 2021, and 2022. And Miss Gwendolyn and the Born Good Enough Mindset was a sponsor for last year's conference. So we appreciate her for that. So please do check out those videos where we had some very, very wonderful speakers, powerful speakers, and we talked about some very, very important subject matter that pertains to women of color and women in general, but especially us. Black Nonbelievers will be tabling at the American Atheist Convention in Phoenix, which will take place from April 6th through April 9th. We will have merchandise for sale there. So if you are attending this year's convention, please do go visit our booth to not only support our merchandise, but also to support our work. BNC Con 2023 is still available for booking. Initial deposits, we are still accepting those, but they will go up next month. So please be mindful of that. We will be on the new Carnival celebration. The convention will take place in its entirety from November 4th through the 13th, with our sale dates being from November 5th through the 12th. Our featured guests will be Matt Dillahunty, Candice Gorham, yours truly, and more. And again, visit the website to book. That link will also be shared. Also, if you are looking for a great gift to give at any given time of the year, pick up a copy of Name Dropping, which was created by previous In the Cut guest Deanna Williams and her best friend Jesus Reyna. Name Dropping is the frustratingly fun movie trivia card game. Do click on the link in the chat to purchase. And that wraps up this episode of In the Cut. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you will join us again. And as a reminder, we air every first and third Sunday of each month. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and spread the word. Please do follow us on Facebook at Black Nonbelievers, on Instagram at B Nonbelievers Inc., and Twitter at B Nonbelievers. The B and the N are capitalized. And we are also on LinkedIn. If you type in Black Nonbelievers, you can follow us there. Once again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are getting closer and closer to hitting that monetization mark so that you can send in super chats. So please continue to watch these videos, the live videos, as well as our playlist. That all helps. And we will be also uploading some YouTube shorts in the very near future. So please stay tuned for those. Do find your local affiliate on Meetup or join all of them. We are in Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Charlotte. Our Richmond, Virginia, and Columbus, Ohio affiliates do need organizers. So please reach out if you are interested in joining the organizing and leadership team. And finally, and last but not least, please do make your tax deductible donation to Black Nonbelievers on our website. Just a quick reminder, the Amazon Smile program ended on February 20th. However, you can visit our website because there are still some great support options available. And just a heads up, this year, we will be once again co-sponsoring the Hurston Scholarship in partnership with the Secular Student Alliance. This scholarship was named after famous freethinker Zora Neale Hurston, and shout out to her for saluting her for Women's History Month. She was mentioned in our Black History Month program, which features Cynthia McDonald and Chris Cameron. We will have that video available for you shortly. Also, visit the website for the Secular Student Alliance if you wish to start a student chapter, especially if you attend a HBCU or historically Black college or university. And finally, if you want to represent BN even more, you can get your swag, your shirts, hoodies, mugs, shot glasses, bumper stickers, and more from our online store. You don't have to wait until you see us in person. You can shop online at any time. Take care. Thank you all once again, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.